Channel athletes.
Let's get to another team. I'm going to blow by them quickly. Moroka Swallows. Not a big fan of them. Don't watch any of their games. I've only catch the. I don't really like watching Swallows. I'm not gonna lie. Not a big fan of Steve Gombella personally. That is why I don't watch a lot of their games. But Swallows, they played 14, won 5, drawn 4, lost 5, scored 12, conceded 11, have a positive 1 goal difference, which means, and they have 19 points in the league. They're winless in their last 5 games. The last victory came against TS Galaxy on the 8th of November. Their last game played was a 0-0 draw versus Royal AM, and they failed to play their last 2 games against Sundowns away and against Golden Arrows at home. As I said, I'm going to get into it now. The biggest loss of the season is 2-0 against Orlando Pirates. Their biggest win is 3-1 against Cape Town Spurs at home. Not only is the manager at risk of losing his job, but I don't even think the manager's been paid yet. Or at the time of which I've read the articles and post the judgment coming out from the league, they hadn't been. They out of punishment. They hadn't paid their manager. The manager kept on losing games. Compella's one of the managers under pressure in the league in terms of bringing them results. A lot of us cries were that we have a lot of injured players, so a lot of our team is a makeshift team and trying to get win to get results. And he said that against Chipper, that game that they beat against Chipper, that game they played against Orlando Pirates, they said that, and it's like we all suffer injuries. To lay on that as the bedrock to your team's failure to gain wins is a bit basic. It's a valid reason, but I don't think that it's enough of a reason for you to be like, hey, we're not winning because you don't have players available. It's like you have to find it. That's why you're the manager. That's why you're appointed. You're appointed to get results regardless of the circumstances. You can say to an extent, in football theory and football philosophy, it's an unreasonable expectation to expect someone to give you a positive outcome without the necessary resources. But such is the nature of the game and of the sport, that there's a certain level of expectation of unrealistic capabilities to be achieved by a manager. Meaning that even in the most absurd of situations, you are still expected to come out with something. Like, Swallows could have lost 8 of their first team players, and the others could have been makeshift players. Compella could get sacked after losing, even with those makeshift players. But then his defense to be like, I didn't have my players. And then everyone else, the football critics, the football analysts, and the management, and the media as a whole will say, well, you're the coach. You're supposed to find a way to get wins, you know? So that's one side of it. That's the footballing side of it. Come to the financial and the management side of it. Swallows have also been in the media of late. They've been very poor in terms of they failed to pay their players their December salaries, which therefore led to the players boycotting 2 consecutive games, which is the one against Golden Arrows and the one against Mamelodi Sundowns. Consequence of that was that Swallows have been slapped with a suspended 1 million rand fine for failing to honor the 2 league games of which they were meant to play. They pled guilty to the charges of misconduct and bringing the league into disrepute. However, of that 1 million rand suspended fine, 400,000 is payable immediately, and a disciplinary committee cost must also be covered plus that 400,000 rand that's payable immediately. Should they fail, should a similar offense transpire within the next 2 years, the balance of 1 million rand, that balance, which means that 600,000 is payable immediately after the 2 years. Within the 2-year period, if they commit a similar crime again, or if they commit if they commit that similar breach again. Now, I don't know where the flip they're going to find that money, because they already paid to fail their players. I don't know whether the issue with failing to pay their players was because of a lack of finances or a lack of financial planning. In terms of when they drew up their financial plan for the month of December, they didn't anticipate paying their players early, because the players wanted an early salary because they want to spend it on Christmas. on their kids, but they couldn't. So yeah, it was a bit iffy. I don't know if they've paid or not. That's behind them and them and close doors. But what I know for sure is that they're in deep waters, deep trouble, and I see them finishing 14th. To be honest, they're one of the teams I see dropping down the log. I think teams from 9th and below, it's very tricky to see them go above the table. So they're most probably going to drop points rather than gain points. I don't think health is a thing. Health is a thing of concern with Swallows. I think just playing well is a concern with Swallows. And sure, they have a striker on from Pirates so on 6 goals about the season. But it's like, why not such a lengthy pause for the season? Plus the way the team has been playing before this point, it's like, hey guys, I'm not too sure about your guys' ability to get enough wins to go up the log. You'll get enough to survive, but not enough to go up. Plus, the 2 teams in the bottom really are helping everyone else's case of survival, to be honest.